Hi guys, so today I am talking to you guys again about urge surfing and addiction. I did a video on this a while ago, probably like a year ago. Anyway, so I'm going to be bringing up some of the same stuff. So I've had a few people ask me recently, how do you urge surf? Well, urge surfing is all about the pause. So when it comes to addiction, it's pretty much like climbing a mountain. The urge comes, it reaches its peak, and then it goes. And depending on what state in recovery, what stage, you are at, or what environment you're in, it might come more rapidly, than another person's, and depending on what substance you were using. So you might get up, and then you might get 30 seconds of downtime, and then it might go doot 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 doot. Right. I did have a picture of this when I did the course, but anyway, I would have to search for that. So what I'm getting at is, if you can surf the urge like you would a wave, then you can get past it, and after a certain amount of time, your withdrawal effects wear off, depending on, like I said, the substance, and how much usage, and what environmental effects. So what's your mental state like? Are you in a hostile home? Are you fighting with your partner? Are there other external stresses, so things that aren't in you, like your thoughts and feelings? So that's something to always look at. If you feel like it's not going to end, it will. And that is why a very common saying that I hear is one day at a time. And one day at a time is very important, because, for cigarettes, for instance, I've been trying to fight this addiction for some time. I did actually quit, and one of the ways I quit was by urge surfing. So it's around 7 days for the actual physical withdrawals to wear off. The rest of the withdrawals is the social withdrawals. Like, that's why we always say people, places, and things. And we all know, well, if we don't, we should have a think about what our triggers are, right? So for me, it's drinking. That's why when I was pregnant, I just quit, straight away, because I wasn't drinking. I wasn't going out partying. So it was no issue for me to smoke. And obviously I care about my child, who was in my stomach at the time. So I quit straight away. And some people don't. And the doctors actually suggest that it's not wise to do so because of the stress levels and things like that. But we all have our different ways of going about things, and we all have our different motivations. And you've got to find what your motivation is. So when those urges are coming up, we want to replace them. So what I used to do is, because there's rituals, right? There's rituals of using. So you might say, I get paid on a Tuesday. So your urges, even after the physical withdrawals have worn off, your urges will probably come back on a Tuesday, because you get paid on a Tuesday. That is what you used to do. You might have flashes of, going to your friend's place and feeling really happy and, high, or whichever substance you were using. So your brain remembers that, right? So your brain is the problem here. Your brain is telling you, okay, this is what we do. Why aren't we doing it? This feels very unnatural. It's change. We don't like it. Change is very scary. Just go back to doing what you're doing, because that's how we became happy and that's how we functioned. So it is all about creating new patterns and new rituals. And they are about substituting the things that you used to do. So I have mints in my mouth at the moment. And that would be a good way to distract yourself, because there's taste, right? So you use mindfulness techniques. You focus on the taste. You focus on how it sounds when you're chewing it. So that's sound. You've got your 5 senses, right? See, hear, taste, sound, feel. I was like, what's the last one? Anyway, So you want to try and focus on those five senses. Anyway, so the five senses are very important for distraction techniques. Feeling, you can use temperature, so hot and cold is a really good getting back into your body, because your mind it can't be trusted right now, right? Your mind is like, we need to do these rituals, this is what we do. Your body, on the other hand, your body doesn't really care about this stuff. It just wants to survive, right? So if you can get back into your body and out of your mind, then you can surf the urge. So something to do, get moving is a really good one. Distract yourself with something that might create achievement. So creating achievement, is anything that you can complete or spend time on that might make you happy. What was your passion? Do you have a passion currently? Music, creative outlets, going for walks or jogs, joining up with a meetup group, karaoke, or one of those park run jogging kind of groups. There are always different outlets where you can make friends, you can socialize, and you can create new rituals. So for instance, if you are a smoker and you want to quit smoking, you might wake up in the morning, and a big one to quit is the fact that people will have a coffee and a cigarette, right? Because that's how they wake up. That's their morning ritual. That is a very normal thing to do for them. So you might instead wake up and change it. So go and have a shower instead. And that is something that is creating that sense of warmth on your body. You can sit and feel the drops onto your body. You can feel that. You can breathe really slowly. So breathing is another way to really get through the urges. And then you can focus on the fact that you just achieved something. And it may not seem like much to anybody else, but you achieved change. Now, everybody deciphers change very differently. It's very easy to look at other people's lives and say, well, they don't have problems. Nobody is dealing with what I'm dealing with. Every single person has issues. They have problems. The difference between using and not using is coping strategies. So the coping strategy is when you react in a way that is either healthy or unhealthy for you. So for me, for instance, check out my eyebrows. That one is normal. That one is not. So I was smoking yesterday. I think it was yesterday or the day before. Anyway, and my partner bought me a new lighter, and I lit it, and it singed my eyebrow. Now, old me would have been fairly aggressive about that, would have, blamed someone. That is a coping strategy, right? But I thought, you know what? It's fine. It's whatever. I'm just not going to use that lighter anymore. So that's another strategy, right? So remove whatever it is that is causing you an issue. This is not always the case. You can't always do that. I've fought with people in the past who I had to have in my life. I've had internal struggles with bosses. You can't just remove them. So what you have to do is then learn how to deal with that situation in a way that's healthy. So we're always going to have stress. That is a part of life. You can go home and be mad and let it affect the rest of your family and let it affect your well-being. Or, you can maybe put some music on the way home, sing, go sit at the beach, meditate. You can write about it. You can write in a diary. A lot of people do positive things at the end of the day. That's a really good thing as well. Or you can talk to your partner about it. Try and find strategies to get through those things, because this is a big thing that people... it's a bug flying around. This is a big thing that people aren't often taught is problem-solving skills. So problem-solving, we all know what that means. It's solving the problem. And it's not easy. It's actually not always easy. So something that we have to look at is, what are our problems? So the start of an exercise is called the circle of control. Now you draw 2 circles. One is a big one. on a piece of paper, and in the middle is a smaller circle. And in the middle circle, you write everything that actually affects you, that is in your control, that you can do something about, because it's your problems. And then the outside is a circle of concern. So it's things that concern you, they bother you. It might even be your child is getting bullied at school, whatever it is. You can't physically make that child stop bullying your other child because it's not you, right? But what you can do is you can problem solve ways to maybe talk to the administration, maybe talk to the school, maybe talk to your child about, what's going on. Are they instigating anything? Can you teach them coping strategies to get through that? Maybe for them to leave the situation, maybe for them to play somewhere else, maybe for them to say, stand up for themselves and say, please don't talk to me like that. That's inappropriate, or whichever it is, in a child way. Yeah, I tend to overcomplicate the things I say to my child. She's like, Mum, they probably wouldn't like it if I said that. I'm like, oh, okay. Well, you think they wouldn't understand? Okay, try this. So, look, there are all different ways that we can surf the urge, and understanding the fact that what's in your control, what's not in your control, making some goals. And if I say, what are the two or three most important things to you right now to change, or that you want for your life, you're probably going to write down big things. Like when I was unwell, I wrote, I want to be mentally well. I want to have an affordable home. I want to be a good parent, so they were really big things, right? And you can get frustrated when you have these big goals, because you're like, I want to be that right now. I'm putting the effort in. I want to be that right now. I want to be clean and sober. I want to be mentally well. I want to be whatever you want to be. You know what I'm saying? Like they're big things. So you have to break them down to actionable goals. So they're things that you can do right now, So for me, I was like, okay, what I'm going to do when I first started, looking at changing my parenting style and stuff like that, I was like, I'm not going to swear anymore when it comes to getting angry with my kid. I'm not going to smack my kid anymore. So it's one thing at a time, and you really need to give yourself about a week before you even look at how well you're doing with this new goal, this new thing that you're doing. And it takes about 21 days to rewire your brain, because like I said, your brain is the problem. Your brain is the one that creates the rituals, but it also is the one who can get you out of this, and your body. You guys need to work together as a team. So like I said, breathing, creating new rituals. So if you want to do something, remove yourself from the situation, substitute it. Sometimes grounding techniques are really good. Like you might be triggered by something. You might be at dinner with some friends and you think, well, how am I supposed to breathe? I'm at dinner in front of everyone. I'm going to look like a retard. Okay, so what you have to do is you have to remove yourself from the situation. You can go home if you feel it won't make a scene, but if you want to stay, go to the toilet. Okay, I mean, there's nothing wrong with saying, I need to go to the toilet. People aren't going to look at you and go, oh, she's losing it. So go to the toilet, and then you might put your back up against the wall in the toilet, and you might start doing squats and pressing your back up against the wall. Now, by pressing your back up against the wall, you are creating one of those senses, which is touch, right? Feeling. And your body is being grounded into the ground, which is fantastic because it gets you, back into your body, right? So, anything that you can do to really slow everything down, slow those urges down, the surfing of the urges is very important. And this comes with mental health, with anxiety. Depression is a different sort of exercise. So instead of, you need to get back into your body, feeling back into your body. So it's a little bit different. It's not about breathing to try and calm down your mind. it's actually about like feeling, so you might press into your arms, feeling techniques to get some feeling back into your body because you're numb. So you're in hypoarousal, which is this hyperarousal, which is anxiety. Usually addicts in recovery are going through hyperarousal where you're really anxious, you're angry, you're really hyper at that moment. Whereas people who are depressed are going through hypoarousal, which is, when you are quite numb, you can't really talk to people in a way that you normally would. So it's about getting back into your body, getting moving, and both of them, just different techniques. Anyway, I'm not sure if I went over things a few times, but I would really love it if you guys could just have a look at what's going on in your life, what you want to change and why, and then we want to look at how. And how, like I said, put those big goals up there on a sheet of paper or a piece of cardboard that you can pop up in front of your face, and then try and minimize them into small goals, because we can't change the world and we can't change our world until we focus on small steps, something we can achieve, and that gives us a sense of gratification and achievement and the fact that we're amazing because we did the things we were going to do, instead of procrastinating and saying, well, it's all too hard and it's really big and I don't think I can do it. But I want to tell you, you can do it. You need to have a reason, and that reason should be you. If it's somebody else, make it a healthy person. And try and stay safe. Remove yourself from situations that are going to be, upsetting or affect you. Those conflict situations are really not good when you're not in a good headspace. They're not good at all, really. I don't want to be in conflict situations either. So it's not easy, guys. It takes time, and just remember that when you're changing, and slipping up is fine. We all make mistakes. We just need to remember to tell ourselves that it's about minimizing harm to ourselves and our lives and creating small successes along the way. Okay, any questions, please ask. I didn't write a list today, so I think I went over things a few times. All right, have a good week, guys. Bye.